So if you're trying to break into the education space and you're totally confused by whether you should coach people one-on-one, coach people in a group, or sell an online course and just forget about all the coaching, this video is going to clear all of that up for you. Because one of the biggest problems is people look at the gurus and think they should copy them and do what they're doing right now. In fact, I just got off a call with a client who's looking at all the things that the gurus are doing on YouTube and thinking he's going to have to copy all of that to build his business. And not only is that wrong, that he doesn't have to, but he definitely should not if he wants to succeed with this business, okay? I'll explain what I mean by that. There are phases in an education business. The first phase is 0 to $100,000, okay? 0 to 100K is all about getting clear on who you serve, getting clear on where they are today and specifically where you will take them. Who is the person that's your particular set of skills will help the best? And then what is your program and can you get results for people? Can you get testimonials? Hey, do you have clients that have gone through it? You focus on those things and you get to $100,000 per year. When you get to the 100K mark, you will start to max out your time in terms of one-on-one, and then you can start to look at group coaching and courses to help you continue to scale, okay? But when you are breaking into the education space, the first thing you want to do is whatever is absolutely best for your clients, okay? It's not that you don't always want to do that. It's just that eventually you'll have to train other coaches to work underneath you because there's only one of you and you only have so much time. But in the beginning, when you're cutting your teeth on the industry and you're figuring out your voice and who you want to help and all those things, then you definitely want to just think like, well, what would be the most likely thing to get my client the outcome I want to give them? And that is going to be one-on-one coaching. Okay, one-on-one really can't be beat. It's just you and them, You're not like making them watch videos or, raise their hand to ask a question in a group. You're not putting them in a Facebook group with a bunch of people. You're on the calls with them one-on-one, and you can deep dive into every single thing that's going on, help them, get through mental roadblocks. I mean, I never get results like I do for my clients when we work one-on-one, okay? So I want you to think about that when you're getting started in the education space, all right? Now, when you get into the multi-six-figure range, you have the option of pivoting to group coaching and courses. Okay, I've done 2 successful group programs, 3 actually, in my time as a coach, where I launched them and had them going for a year or 2, and then I shut them down. And for, a lot of the reasons I did it was I was changing who I served, what I helped them with. Like when I changed from real estate to helping coaches, obviously I wasn't going to keep that real estate program going. So when I pivoted, when I could coach like 15 people at one time, on a group call and still get results from my clients. And I'm only working a couple hours per week on that one call, which is very different than if I were to do a one-on-one call with every single one of those people. Now, the one-on-one call with each person would have gotten better results for them, I'm willing to bet. I would have had to charge more for that too, though. Like the group coaching, you can charge less because you can take on more people. And my schedule would have been too maxed out to do that anyways. I probably would have been capped at 10 or less people, right? Also, that was when I brought in an online course in order to help me do a lot of the teaching. I built a really elaborate real estate investing online course that was just, like dozens of hours of content with all the checklists and worksheets and downloads that really walk people through every single step, so that when they got on those group calls, they were just asking the questions that remained after they watched the course. Okay. So courses are great for that type of dynamic, but you definitely want to still give them access to you, because people will have questions. They will always have questions. Okay. So if you think about the evolution of your business in the education space, when you first start out, just work with a small amount of clients, charge high ticket, do one-on-one coaching. It's the best thing for the client. It's the best thing for you to grow as a coach and to sharpen your skills, to learn what works for them, what doesn't. You will make your program a lot better each time you take a person through it. And then one day you'll be like, this thing is razor sharp. I can put this into a course. I know the 6 steps. I've taken a bunch of people through the 6 steps, time and time again. They've all gotten the outcome. And then you've got your course that you can sell people along with group coaching. Okay, so they still have access to you. And I'm not past this point, but I'm in a mastermind with a lot of people who have built huge businesses where they're doing multi-6 or even 7 figures per month in the space. What they do from that point is they turn on paid ads, they hire a sales rep, and then they hire coaches to do the group coaching. And the last thing I'll say is that a lot of programs still offer one-on-one as well. So you'll get in and you'll be able to consume the course, get on the group coaching calls, and then every month or something you get a one-on-one call. And that's so you don't get lost. I don't know about you, but I've gotten lost in group coaching programs multiple times. No one's checking in on me, seeing if I'm, getting results. Just kind of drift away and, maybe sort of resent the program for it, even though it really wasn't the program's fault. So I recommend always having some kind of one-on-one in your program. So even when you pivot to group, let's say you do one group call a week and you also developed an online course, then give people one at least 30 or 45 minute call per month with you to check in and to create a plan and to create some accountability and to make sure that they are not stuck. Most of your clients are stuck somewhere in your program, or they will be. And so you need to have one-on-one touch points with them to help them get unstuck, where they feel safe and not vulnerable, and they can just tell you what's really going on because they're not on a call with a bunch of other people. It's a very different environment. Okay. Now, last thing I'll say is about courses. You can look at the gurus and see that they sell a course for $300, $500, $1,000, $2,000 or whatever, and they're running ads to it, and they're, you're clicking on watching a webinar, buying a course. A lot of the time the course doesn't really help you all the way. I'm a little bit conflicted on if you should just sell courses. If anything, I think you should offer a course for whatever price you want to get. And then if someone wants to roll that money into working with you one-on-one or in the group, they should be able to. That way you give them the chance of seeing if they can figure it out on their own with the course for cheaper. But if they can't, then they can go back and do the best thing for them, which is work with you directly. And they don't have to waste the money that was spent on the course, right? So I'm going to start selling the course eventually. I'll probably, adjust it so that it's that way. But there's one other thing I want to say about courses, because there's 2 different ways that they're used. One is like I just described. It's like just let's sell tons of these courses. And a lot of the gurus do that, and they're really running ads to them and selling them at like a break-even level. So if it costs them, $300 to get somebody that goes through the funnel, watches a webinar, actually buys a course, they will keep ramping up their spend until they hit $300 customer acquisition cost. And then the course costs $300, so that's break even for them. You're like, well, why would they do that? Well, first of all, they're not making a ton of money on that spread before they ramped up the spend. I remember Russell Brunson talking to me about his break-even book funnels. And, like he's making, even before he ramps up the spend to where they're break-even, he's making, 5, 10, 15 grand a year, 20 grand a year on a book funnel. You're not going to make tons and tons of money if you have to run ads to a course you're selling for $300 or whatever. I've heard that Sam Ovens' Consulting Accelerator is probably the most popular course for new consultants. Is what does he charge for it? $2,000, $2,000, right? And so he said that's a break-even funnel for him. So they pump a ton of money into ads. It costs them a couple grand to get that person to buy the course. But you have a customer for free that's highly indoctrinated because they've already spent money with you and they've gone through your course and they know what you're talking about. Then he upsells those people into his second and third tier products, and it's 100% profit because he got the customer for free with the break-even course funnel. Okay, that's one way you use a course, and you're probably not even close to being ready for that, so just don't mess with it. Okay, but that's usually what people think they need to do. I did too. I won't go into that, but the other way that you use a course is to supplement your teaching inside of your program. So with my group programs in the past, when you signed up, I said, hey, here's the login to the course, go through, watch module 1, bring your questions to the call on Tuesday. So that helped me deliver, right? And then the next week, go through module 2, bring your questions to the call. And so I'm not just sitting there reteaching things to a group of people, but I'm answering. It's all, those group calls can be nothing but Q&A if your course teaches them everything they need to know. It's a beautiful thing, really. So that's a great way to use courses, and you can do that from the get-go. I use a combination of like training videos inside of courses plus Google Docs with my paid clients, so they get homework, resources, assignments through those mediums, and then I get with them on the calls for Q&A, and that's better because they don't want to sit through a teaching session on our one-on-one calls, right? It needs to be dialogue, back and forth, talking through everything. That's going to be more valuable for them. Cool? So I hope this has been helpful in terms of figuring out, should you do one-on-one, should you do groups, should you do courses, and sorting out what everyone else is doing, seeing what works for you at what stage, okay? Last thing I'll say is if you guys want help figuring out how to structure your entire program and figuring this out for you, but not only that, writing up your offer post, and then everything from deciding who you're going to serve, what outcome you're going to create for them, how you're going to market and sell it and deliver it, then shoot me a DM and let's talk about whether or not my 6-week one-on-one coaching program would be a good fit for you, because this is a big part of what we do inside of that 6 weeks. And yeah, hope this helps, guys, and have a fantastic day. I will see you soon. Peace.